Quick question. Are you a woman, a lawyer, and somewhere in the vicinity of highly accomplished, but also can't find your keys, your billable hours, or the will to open that one email? Cool. Cool. We need to talk. Because here's the thing nobody told us in law school. A staggering number of women lawyers are walking around with undiagnosed ADHD. And most of us don't figure it out until we're 40, exhausted, and crying in a Target parking lot for reasons we cannot name. I'm not being dramatic. Okay, I'm being a little dramatic. But also, I'm not. So today we're getting into it. Why does this keep happening to us? Why is the diagnosis showing up 2 decades after the symptoms? And why does every woman lawyer I know have the exact same color-coded planner that she has not opened since March? Let's go. First, ADHD doesn't look the way you think it looks. Here's the original sin. The diagnostic criteria for ADHD were built by studying 8-year-old boys throwing chairs. That is not a metaphor. That is a sentence about reality. So when ADHD shows up in a 34-year-old woman who runs a litigation practice, raises 3 kids, and remembers every single one of her co-counsel's children's birthdays, but cannot, for the life of her, file her own expense reports, nobody clocks it. Including her. Especially her. ADHD in women tends to be the inattentive flavor. Less bouncing off the walls, more internal symphony of 17 unfinished thoughts playing at all times. It's the rejection sensitivity that makes one mildly critical email ruin a Tuesday. It's the time blindness that makes "I'll leave in 10 minutes" a beautiful work of fiction. It's the hyperfocus that lets you draft a 40-page brief in one sitting and then forget to eat for 9 hours. It does not look like a kid throwing a chair. It looks like competence with a side of quiet suffering. Second, we are professionally trained maskers. Women are socialized from approximately age 4 to be organized, agreeable, composed, and not too much. Lawyers, and especially women lawyers, take this to a competitive level. We build elaborate scaffolding around our brains. The lists, the reminders to check the reminders. The 6 a.m. wake up because we know we need 3 hours of warm-up time to function like a person. The fact that we have rewritten our entire calendar by hand 4 times this year because something about it just wasn't working. This is not organization. This is compensation. There is a difference. And the better you are at compensating, the longer it takes anyone, including you, to notice that something is going on under the hood. You are, paradoxically, punished for being functional. Your reward for white-knuckling your way through life is that no one believes you when you say it's hard. Third, the legal profession is basically an ADHD pressure cooker. Law is a job designed to find every weak spot in an ADHD brain and press on it. 6-minute billing increments. Constant context switching. Deadlines that are simultaneously urgent and abstract. A culture that mistakes suffering for seriousness. The expectation that you will read a 40-page contract, retain all of it, respond to 7 emails, take a call with opposing counsel, and remember whether you ate lunch. You can mask this for a while. You can mask it for a long while. And then something happens. A baby, a promotion, perimenopause, a global pandemic, partnership, your firstborn starting kindergarten, and the scaffolding collapses. The strategies that got you through your 20s stop working. The hours get longer, the load gets heavier, the estrogen does whatever estrogen does, and suddenly the thing you've been quietly managing for 30 years becomes the thing that is managing you. This is usually the part where we Google adult ADHD in women at 2 in the morning and find ourselves in tears because the symptom list reads like a personal diary. Fourth, your doctor probably isn't going to catch it. I love doctors. I do. But the average primary care physician received approximately 1 PowerPoint slide on adult ADHD in medical school, and that slide had a picture of a little boy on it. So when you walk in and say you're tired, scattered, can't focus, and have been crying more than usual, you are very likely to be handed an SSRI and a leaflet about meditation. Which is fine. Meditation is great. SSRIs save lives. But if the actual problem is ADHD, you are now treating the wrong thing, sometimes for years, sometimes for decades. The result? Women get diagnosed with anxiety in their 20s, depression in their 30s, and ADHD in their 40s. In that order, almost on a schedule. Now meet Sarah. Sarah is a lawyer. Sarah is great at her job. Sarah's clients love her. Sarah's colleagues describe her as really on top of things. Sarah has not been on top of things in 22 years. Sarah has built an entire life around looking like a person who is on top of things. Sarah has 3 productivity systems running in parallel. Sarah has cried in her car before every annual review. Sarah's email inbox is a crime scene. Sarah has been told her whole life that she is so smart, and she has spent 3 decades trying to figure out what comes after the but. Sarah finally drags herself to a doctor at 40 because she is tired in a way sleep doesn't fix. The doctor, a good one finally, asks her some questions. Sarah answers them. The doctor says, "Has anyone ever talked to you about ADHD?" Sarah laughs. Sarah cries. Sarah goes home and reads everything she can find. Sarah realizes that the thing she thought was a personality flaw was actually a brain doing its best in a system that was never built for it. Sarah is, statistically, most of us. So what do we do with this? Look, I'm not your doctor. I'm not anyone's doctor. The bar exam did not include a pharmacology section, thank God. But if any of this is hitting too close to home, if you've been quietly running a marathon for 30 years and wondering why everyone else seems to be jogging, please consider that the problem might not be your willpower, your character, or your work ethic. The problem might be that you have a brain that works differently, and nobody ever told you, because you were too busy being competent for anyone to notice. Talk to a professional. Specifically, talk to one who knows what ADHD looks like in adult women, because, see above, not all of them do. Ask around. Get a referral. Push for the evaluation. You are allowed to advocate for yourself with the same ferocity you advocate for your clients. And in the meantime, be a little kinder to the version of yourself that's been holding it all together with sticky notes and prayer. She did her best. She's still doing her best. She just deserves better tools. If this video felt like I was reading your diary, first of all, hi, welcome, you're in good company. Second, share it with the woman lawyer in your life who you suspect needs to hear it. You know the one. We deserve to know what's actually going on in our own heads, even if it takes us until 40 to find out. Did you know many women lawyers live with undiagnosed ADHD? It's a startling reality. Today, we explore why many women go undiagnosed until their 40s. ADHD manifests differently in women, with symptoms that can be overlooked or dismissed. As they navigate their responsibilities, they often internalize their struggles, leading to heightened stress and anxiety that compounds over time. This masking of symptoms can create a facade of competence, while internally, they grapple with feelings of overwhelm and inadequacy. Understanding and addressing these unique challenges is crucial for accurate diagnosis and effective treatment, which can empower women with ADHD to embrace their true selves and thrive beyond societal expectations. Let's break down the reasons why women lawyers face this challenge. First, women are socialized to be organized and composed. They develop strategies to cope with their ADHD traits. This coping can hide symptoms until they become overwhelming. Next, the legal profession is high pressure. Women often work in intense environments. They face long hours and high expectations. This pressure can exacerbate ADHD symptoms, making them hard to identify. We also see a lack of awareness. Many doctors overlook women's ADHD. Health professionals may focus on more obvious signs in men. This leads to misinterpretation of women's experiences. Now, let's consider an example. Imagine Sarah, a dedicated lawyer. For years, she excels despite feeling overwhelmed. She attributes her struggles to stress. It isn't until she's 40 that a doctor suggests ADHD. Sarah realizes her difficulties were not just stress. She finally understands herself better. This diagnosis empowers her to seek help and find strategies that work. In summary, many women lawyers face specific challenges. Societal pressures, work environments, and a lack of awareness play roles. Diagnosis often comes late, sometimes around 40. Let's raise awareness about ADHD in women. It's time to break the stigma and educate ourselves. If you relate to this video, seek guidance. Speak to a professional. You are not alone. Empower yourself or someone you know. Understanding ADHD can change lives. Act today.